the next matter is Devin Hildebrandt and Chelsea Brink. That's file 11-14050-DS.
Thank you.
I do see Mr. Hildebrandt is here. Do we have Chelsea Brink with us?
This is Alyssa's
Yeah.
fault and Zach from Law
Could
Nerds
you put your
Unite.
video on, please, Ms. Brink?
I don't have that capability, sir.
I'm told
Where
we
are
have
you at right
I'm
now?
here via phone.
a super
Huh?
Karen.
Where are you physically located at right now?
The Comfort Inn and Suites. I got a room here last night. My dad gave me $1,000. Ouch.
What type of phone do you have that doesn't have video capability?
Galaxy something. It's an Android device.
All right, and you didn't download the Zoom app? You're just calling in?
No, I'm connected via phone. That's the best I can do, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Kraus, is this your matter?
Yes, for this case with the Hildebrandt, yes.
All right. My order last time was that Ms. Brink submit documentation about job applications. She was supposed to do 10 job applications each week to the Otsego County Friend of the Court. Has she done that?
She has not. There was a voicemail that was left in regards to a couple concerns that were outside of employment issues that were outside the scope of Friend of the Court. That message was left for the other case manager.
That's the most untrue statement I've ever heard in my life. My voicemails
Ms.
were
Brink?
regarding job applications I
Ms.
submitted.
Brink,
I like
I
it
will
already.
get to you in just a minute, but you don't get to just interrupt somebody else that's talking. I can't have a conversation with one person if somebody else is talking over that. You will have a chance
Well,
to
I'm not
say what
going
you
to
need
accept
to say.
lies about me.
Ma'am, you will have a chance to say what you want to say in a minute, but I need to talk to people in order, and it's not your turn. If you're going to do that in the future, I'm going to require you to be here in court. And if you're going to be here in court, you're going to behave yourself just like you would when you're on the phone. You understand that? All right, Ms. Kraus, go ahead.
Yes.
As to the voicemail and the contents, it would be more appropriate to speak to the other case manager. Her obligation is $197. The arrears for this specific case is $10,604.42. The only payment that's been received was a payment in April and May. $100 was received, but $49.37 was distributed to this specific case each month.
All right, I do see Mr. Hildebrandt is here as well. Mr. Hildebrandt, have you received any child support payments from Ms. Brink?
No, sir.
When was the last time you did?
I want to say it was in May and it was like $45 or something.
All right.
I think I might have received 2 payments possibly. And
Same
that
ones
was,
that Ms. Kraus was just talking about?
yes, sir.
All right. All right, Ms. Brink, please tell me why you have not done the 10 applications per week and submitted them to the Friend of the Court.
I've been in the hospital for the last month. You ordered it.
I ordered you to be in the hospital for last month?
Yes. The police came to my house and said they had an order from you saying to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital with them.
Which hospital did you go to?
Well, they took me to Otsego Memorial Hospital emergency room and then transported me to D6 at Munson in Traverse City after that.
When were you
So I've been in
released
the
from the
hospital
hospital?
for the entire month. But I did submit applications to a few places. I left a voicemail on Friend of the Court and the prosecuting attorney's voicemails saying that I did that. And I had a job interview at Taco Bell yesterday, but it's really just not. I'm in a ton of pain. I've been in 2 car accidents and I'm homeless. So getting a job and making child support payments is not at the top of my priority list. Although I know it is at the top of yours because my children need support, but I just can't right now. And I apologize for that, but there's just really nothing I can do. I don't know what to do. Nowhere seems to be hiring. I'm doing the best I can, to be honest with you.
Ms. Brink, what were you in the hospital for?
I don't even know. You ordered me to go to get checked out. That's all I know. And they sent me to the mental health. I guess supposedly it's a mental health unit.
When
This
were
is
you
not the
released
first time
from,
it's been ordered.
when were you released from the hospital?
2 days ago. I'm going to Petoskey's Mary Margaret house today to sleep on their couch. That's the best they can do. I have nowhere to go. And if I do that, I'm gonna miss out on the Taco Bell job, but I don't know what to do. It's either that or sleep in my truck, and I can't keep sleeping in my truck.
Do you have a community mental health caseworker, Ms. Brink?
Supposedly, I don't know. They're not really doing their job, to be honest with you. But I have an appointment with community mental health in I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time speaking because I'm hurting. But in between 3 and 4 days from now, I have it on my discharge paperwork. If I looked at it, I can tell you the specific date. I think it's I don't know. I think it's a Wednesday or a Thursday this coming week. But if I go to the Mary Margaret house, I'm going to miss that appointment. So I don't know what you want me to do. I can do either or, but I'm going to struggle if I sleep in my truck for the next week. Luckily, I have
what I want you to do is-
but
What I want you to do is contact community mental health, and if you need to change the appointment, you change the appointment, but you go to your appointment so they can help you find not only mental health treatment, but you can find housing. There's places in Otsego County that deal with people who have difficulty
there's
finding
not.
housing.
I've tried. United Way is closed, and that's the only place that helps with housing. NEMSCA doesn't help with housing, and that's it. There is nowhere in Otsego County that helps with housing. I've called all the numbers.
MDHHS
Sir.
helps with
I even went to the Goodwill Inn in Traverse City, and they rejected me.
because of your behaviors.
No, has nothing to do with that. My behavior is fine, sir. Sorry that you don't like
MDHHS,
it, but that's not the truth.
Ms. Brink, you need to stop when I start talking. MDHHS helps with housing all of the time. Have you made an application there?
Sir, I've made all the phone calls. They're not helping with housing. If you'd like me to prove it to you, I can give you the numbers and you can make the phone calls yourself. But they're not
Ms.
helping
Brink?
me with housing. Well, don't say something that's not true.
Ms. Brink, you still have a responsibility to apply for work, whether it's
I
difficult
have,
or
and
not.
I am.
You have not, because you've not submitted those to the,
Yes, I have. I've
All
been
right,
in the
you're out.
hospital. What do you want me to do? You ordered me to go to the hospital. You can't have your cake and eat it too, sir. I'm sorry.
Chelsea,
And I don't care if you think
Chelsea.
I'm being rude right now, but that's the truth.
Yeah, please watch.
we're good. We're good, Mr. Brown. Thank you, though. I appreciate that.
No, you need to let my attorney speak if he's going to defend me. That's his job. You ordered for him to represent me.
Ms. Brink, what he was going to do was tell you to be quiet, not me to be quiet.
No one needs to be quiet. There's no reason for that.
Ms. Brink, when
We're
did you
having
go
a
to,
conversation to figure this out. Maybe if you hadn't taken my kids from me in the first place, we wouldn't be in this situation. There was no reason
Ms.
for
Brink?
that either, to be perfectly honest with you.
when did
I'm
you
a
go
good
to the
mom.
hospital? When did you go to the hospital?
The first time I went to the hospital was June 2nd because I was so suicidal because I'm homeless that I wanted to literally kill myself. And they put me
when were you
in
ordered?
Sheboygan Hospital for 2 weeks, let me out, sent me to CREW, which is, which I don't know what it stands for. I can't remember right now. Crisis Residential Unit in Gaylord. And then they wouldn't accept me back for some reason because they didn't like that I went outside. And they said I went next door. And really, the honest to God truth is that because I wouldn't answer all their nosy ass questions. And
Okay. Brink?
so I went there, not even for 24 hours. The cops came twice. The first set of cops left, had respect for me, and left. The second set of cops didn't, handcuffed me, put me in the car, and took me to the hospital and said that they had a court order from you and that you wanted me to be checked out. And so they sent me to Munson. And I just got out 24 hours ago. So I'm sorry that I haven't put job applications in, but I'm in a ton of pain. And I will.
All right, good. We're going to adjourn this for a month. You're going to do the
Jesus
2
Christ. You
applications a
just don't
day,
give
10
it up.
applications a week to the friend of the court. We'll have
I'll
another
do as
hearing.
many as I can, but I'm not going to waste my gas when I'm not getting hired.
Ms. Brink, that's a court order. If you're not going to do a court's order, you're going to be in contempt of court.
Whatever.
All right. Ms. Kraus, would you please make sure that that's in the next court order? That's all for today then. Thank you very much. Ms. Brink, you have one more case, so you need to stay on the line until that case is called.
Your Honor,
It's the same fit.
could you repeat the amount
The
of job
exact same-
application?
Yeah, please mute Ms. Brink. All right, Ms. Kraus, the order is that we adjourn today's hearing 30 days and that she submit 2 applications per day or the equivalent of 10 applications per week, just like the previous order.
Thank you.
And then we'll simply have it reviewed in 30 days. All right. Thank you, Mr. Hildebrandt. That's all for you today. You're free to go.
Can we, I got a question, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
The last hearing that we had that I was not allowed in on, I know there was Miss Kraus brought up the fact that she had sold her home and that it just got overlooked in the last hearing. It was mentioned and then nothing else was said about it. She had plenty of income to pay a little bit of her child support or some of her child support when she sold her house for $30,000.
All right.
You know,
Ms.
it's
Kraus, do
just
you have any other information about that?
Outside of, it wasn't at the last hearing. Unfortunately, I wasn't present for that. I believe the other case manager handled the Mays one, but in April, we did receive information. Let me just look at my last notes.
I don't recall that off the top of my head. That's why I'm asking.
I do remember there was conversation that we did have notification or we were able to see that that property was sold online, but we weren't able to find the amount. It was addressed, but I don't know exactly what had happened in regards to that.
All right. Between yourself and the other case manager, would you assist me in trying to pull up some statistics or facts on that? Get me as much information as you can, and we'll review that again at the next court date.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Hildebrandt. We'll deal with that then. All right, sir?
Yes, sir.
And if you, Mr. Hildebrandt, if you have any other additional information, would you submit that to the friend of the court so that they can get that to me so that we can address it on the record?
Yeah, I feel that it's always been just a blatant refusal for her to even pay any amount of child support, especially if she was just gifted $1,000 from her father yesterday. Should we expect a little bit of a payment? I understand that she's homeless and all, but that's by her own free will. She's the one that sold the house that was paid for. It's not a pity party for Chelsea today. It's, you have an obligation, you have children, support your children.
Yep, I understand that. But today's not the day for me to do that because I don't have all that information in front of me, and I'd like to have it before I make a decision. So we'll do
Actually,
it in
an
30
excellent
days.
argument
Thank you,
from
sir.
him.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Is William Mason and Chelsea Brink, file 13-15199-DC.
I think this is
Ms.
another
Brink, are
case
you
in the
still with
same
us?
call.
Yes, I am, sir.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to ask the friend of the court to update me on this particular case, and then I'll give you an opportunity to present your side if you wish. Go ahead, Ms. Spillane.
This matter was adjourned from May 30th, and similar to the last case, she was supposed to provide 10 job applications each week. Support obligation is $202 a month plus $50 ordered on arrears. Her current balance is sitting at $13,107.99, with the last payment received in May of $50.63.
All right.
I paid 2 payments of $100 each.
In April
And
and
like
May,
I said,
right?
I've been in the hospital
Yep, I remember that. Do you have any
and I'm homeless.
dollars? Do you have any dollars currently available to you to make child support payments?
No, I do not.
Did you receive, you mentioned receiving $1,000 from your dad?
I'm
Why
homeless,
is-
sir.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'm homeless. I'm not
All right,
paying
but you have-
child support when I'm homeless.
You have an
My
obligation.
kid's
to
not
pay child
homeless. He has clothing, food, toys, big screen TV, Xbox. He's got everything he needs. His dad does not ask me for money. I've called him, spoken with him twice, agreed to let me see him and talk to him. That still hasn't happened. Called him when I
Right.
got out of the hospital. He was one of my first calls. Didn't answer. Nothing needs to be paid. Technically, I don't even owe that because all of that happened when I was incarcerated for a year in the Otsego County Jail. So it needs to be
Ms.
remedied, to be honest with you.
Ms. Brink, did you sell your house in the last few months?
Yeah, and I was homeless, so most of my money went to hotel stays because my parents have dementia and can't understand that I'm homeless and need to move home.
How much did you receive from the sale of your home?
I don't remember.
Did you receive documents that told you how much you received?
No, I did
from the sale?
not.
Oh, please.
No,
I
I did
find
not
that-
receive documents.
I find that hard to believe, ma'am, that you can sell a house. and
Well,
not
you
have
can if you want, but I did not receive documents.
Who did you sell the house to?
I don't know. It was a company.
Which real estate
And
agency?
you-
This is straight deadbeat child support stuff. And I mean, whatever. It goes without saying. If a guy tries it, he's straight in jail. No more questions. The end.
did
The
you use
reason
to
I
sell the
sold
home?
my house is because Brian Morgan, who you just spoke with a little bit ago, proposed to me when I was living at the sober living house getting treatment for alcoholism. And he proposed to me, said to move down there, that he could get me a job at Lucky Steakhouse. Did not follow through on that. I got a job at Italia Gardens, and then they fired me. And I did make payments when I was working at Italia Gardens. They took it out of my paycheck. I didn't even receive a paycheck.
Ms. Brink, which real estate agency did you use?
I made payments against my will, and since I wasn't getting a paycheck, I was so nasty they fired me. Mm-hmm.
To sell the house?
I don't remember. I think it was Smith Realty or something.
What did you do with the money?
So
once
the
you
only
received
reason I
it?
sold my house is because I was cleared out in Davison with no money, no job, no vehicle, no support from my family, and I couldn't get back up north to take care of my house.
What was the address of your
I
house?
didn't want
that
to
you
sell it. I had no choice.
Ms. Brink, what was the address of the house that you sold?
1336 Groveland Avenue.
When was the sale?
I don't remember. May something or March. I'm sorry, March something.
March of this year?
Mm-hmm.
Do you recall who you sold it to?
No, I already answered that question once, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I just pulled it up on the county's equalization site. It shows that it sold March 25th for 37,000.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, Ms. Brink, I'm going to ask the friend of the court to prepare paperwork to send to you so that you can show cause as to why you've not made child support payments out of the funds that you received from the
I did. I
Sarah-
made two payments
Sarah
of $100 each. It doesn't matter that I didn't pay the entire arrears. I made payments, period.
I'm going to ask the friend of the court to send me documentation of the information that they have about the house and about the money that you received from the house, so I can determine whether or not you made sufficient payments towards your child support
No,
payments.
that's illegal. That's illegal. It doesn't matter that I didn't make the payments in full for the arrears.
See, Judge, here's the thing. You don't understand the law. I'm going to explain it to you now.
The state law says as long as you made an effort, and I did.
That's a good faith effort out of available resources is what the phrase is.
Yeah,
need
and
to
I
determine
did. That was all I could do.
Yeah.
By the time I got back up here to make payments, the money was damn
Yeah, you see, Chelsea, the person who makes that determination is the judge, not you. That's our kooky little system we've got going.
near gone.
You'll have an opportunity to show me that at a future hearing, but I want you to have the
I don't have
information
receipts
about
for
that.
anything, so how am I going to show you that, Your Honor?
You're going to have to tell me about it then.
I just did tell you. Now you're just being facetious, rude.
All right, you'll receive
You shouldn't have to
documentation from
repeat
the friend of the
yourself.
court.
You are an adult. You can hear me.
I'm impressed you got a facetious out. I really am.
Ms. Brink, you're going to receive documentation from the friend of the court.
I have no
Sending it
mailing
for
address,
hearing.
so I don't know how I'm going to receive documentation. You'll have to send it to my parents' house, and I'll be lucky to get it. Like I said, they have dementia. I'm trying to take care of them. Very difficult to take care of two children, two baby dads, because that's what they are. They're not grown men. They're little ass women for money, to be honest with you. Not in the world I grew up in, and probably not in the world you grew up in either, Your Honor. And I have two parents that I'm trying to take care of that have dementia and diabetes, both of them.
All right, Ms. Brink, that has nothing to do with child support matters.
But
What we're gonna
that's all circumstances that are related to it that need to be taken into consideration.
At the next hearing, you may be right, but not at today's hearing. So at the
I
next
am right,
hearing,
Your Honor. Obviously,
do
I'm
that.
right if you're adjourning it.
no, I'm going to adjourn this for 30 days so that we can have a review of two things. One is going to be whether or not you owe additional money from the payment to your house. And the second thing is we're going to adjourn for 30 days so that now that you're out of the hospital, you can continue to make your 10 applications per week. So we'll have a hearing in 30 days on both of those issues. The friend of the court will send out a notice to you of the requirement to pay.
How are you going to do that, Your Honor? You do not have an address for me. I do not have an address. I am homeless.
Where do you want me to send it so that you get that information?
Well, I'll be lucky to get it. If you send it to my parents, they might communicate it to me over the phone, but that's the best I can. She doesn't understand that paperwork, so she's not going to really explain it to me very well.
Okay. Ms. Spillane, do you have Ms. Brink's phone number?
My phone will probably be turned off. I'm going to try and make my phone payment, but it's only going to be good for another month, maybe. But it's 989-984-7160. They do have my current phone number.
All right. Ms. DeFider, can we schedule a hearing next month right now?
The best way to communicate is through my attorney.
Jenny would have to do that, sir, because I don't know what your schedule is like. So Jenny sets those dates.
There you go.
So
She's
your
got an
next,
attorney.
your next motion day would be, what are we? Would be July 11th is your next motion day with us.
Let's set it for that at 9 o'clock.
July 11th at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Let me write that down before we hang up. And is that just for Bill?
That's for the two things that it's for these both of these cases. So your case, with this case, which is with William Mason, and the other one is Devin Hildebrandt. Both of those cases will be set for 9 o'clock. The issues will be whether or not you've made sufficient payments out of the funds that you received, both from your father and from the sale of the house. If you disagree with that, you can file a motion. But I'm going to set it
I'm
for
not
that
going
kind
to
of.
be filing any motions because it doesn't need to be officially on paperwork, Your Honor. You're just being stupid now.
Ms. Brink, if you have an objection to what I'm doing, you must file a motion to object, or you can show up at the
Stop.
next.
Hold her in contempt, issue a warrant. There's nothing else to be done here. I mean, I've been thinking that all along. Anyone with any sense has been thinking that all along. She's completely in contempt. She told you she's not going to follow the orders. She called you stupid in open court. What on earth do you think can be accomplished without contempt here? I don't know what it is. I haven't been through judicial training because I've never become a judge and I don't want to be one. But for some reason, judges are so afraid of contempt. I get it. They don't want to look like they're on a power trip or whatever. But there are times when it's simply the only thing that can be done. That's what it's there for. When someone gives you the court and the people of that state the middle finger, there is nothing else that can be done. You have to assert the authority of the court. Period. End of statement. There is no other method.
Next hearing, make your objection. All right. Ms. Blaine, is there anything else that we need to do today?
No, sir.
That's all for today then. Thank you very much. You're free to go, Ms.
Goodbye.
Brink.
Well, that was fun. This happens a lot because they both have good taste. But Alyssa said, "Hey, you should go look at this thing," and I was going to look at it. I was going to start streaming it, but then sometimes they'll stop at the middle. So I messaged my man Zach. He's in there. I go to message Zach, and he's already got it downloaded and sent to me. My people are awesome. So that's where we are. I didn't have a chance. I'm still recovering from yesterday. I really am. And that's the Andes. That was an alcohol. I had precisely one beer after skiing. It was fantastic. It was fantastic, but this was not a hangover. This was overdoing it. You know, too many vertical feet of skiing. Anyway, so I get up and I see this. I'm like, okay, fine. There's a Super Karen. Let's do it. Oh my. She is out there. The only thing that would be a little bit better is I would have liked the video because I have no idea what this woman looks like. I don't know why, but it's always more fun to see what you're dealing with. Like I don't even have any preconceived notion. The ex-husband or whatever seemed like just like a straight salt of the earth, reasonable guy. He made sense. He's like in work clothes, like making money now. He's raising these children. And so it's just human. I'm sure everybody here is thinking, what the hell happened? He seems like a really reasonable guy, and she's just way out there. I'm not even convinced it's mental health. It could very well be. But I'm saying it's a 50-50 between mental health or just such entitlement that I don't ever have to pay anything. That's only for men. I'm a woman. I don't pay child support. Period. End of statement. No matter what my actions are. She's been to hospitals. She's been evaluated. We don't have any grand diagnosis or anything that's getting her out that way. She just sold a house. Obviously, it's a very cheap house, but I think she fire sold it to a company that probably paid, a quarter of its worth because it's easy. And she's thinking, if I get more, they'll just take it from me. So she does it that way, and then says, I'm homeless. Her ultimate shield is I'm homeless. Yeah, you're homeless by choice. And I don't believe that either. Let's be honest. She's probably living somewhere that she's not going to tell us all about right now, is my guess. That is my guess. What do I know? Nonetheless, it was fun. And then we have a judge who's too nice. I got it. He's following the procedure. But he's following the procedure as if the person's participating in court. The person is not participating in court. She told him point blank, I'm not doing what you're ordering. I'm not doing it, and you're stupid. If you don't use your contempt power at that point, you're useless as a judge. That means your orders have no effect. That means there is zero respect for court, and it's pointless. And that's what occurred. I'm sorry. He seems like a nice guy. He seems like a smart guy. But if you're not willing to put your foot down and assert your authority, which is your whole freaking job, you're no good to anybody. That's the way I see it. But what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a simple country attorney trying to bang out a living in the Midwest. Thank you all for coming out. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.